今、心のどこかで楽をしたいと、そう願ってやしないか。面倒なことから器用に目をそらし、耳に心地よい言葉だけを選んで聞き、一時しのぎの安楽と引き換えに、あんたが本来持っているはずの尊い生命力を安売りしてはいないか。わしには、お見通しだぞ。人生がどうにもうまくいかん。努力が報われん。いつも体のどこかが重く、心が晴れん。なぜ、自分の人生はかくも幸運に見放されているのか。そうやって、ため息をついている人間が、世の中にはあまりにも多すぎる。その根本の原因が、一体どこにあるか。あんた、本気で考え抜いたことがあるか。それはな、あんたが、あんた自身の人生という船の舵を、目先の快楽という名の、実に移ろいやすい風任せにしてしまっているからなんだ。自分で行き先を決めるという、人間として最も尊い責任を、放棄してしまっているからに他ならんのだ。わしは中村天風だ。今日は、皆様方に、その甘い毒、あんたの人生を内側から静かに、しかし、確実に蝕んでいく快楽というものの正体を、徹底的に暴き出すために来た。そして、あんたが本来持っている、宇宙さえも動かすほどの強大な生命力を、その眠りから呼び覚ますための、本物の喝を入れに来たんだ。もし、あんたが、小手先の慰めや、耳障りの良い気休めの言葉を期待しているのなら、残念だが、今すぐここを立ち去るがいい。わしがこれから語るのは、あんたの耳には痛いかもしれん。あんたの今の生き方を、根本から揺さぶる、厳しい真実かもしれん。だがな、これこそが、あんたの人生を、この瞬間から、根底からひっくり返す、絶対の真理なんだ。聞く覚悟は、いいか、そもそも。だ、人間という生き物は、誠に不思議なもんでな。放っておけば、どこまでも楽な方へ、低い方へと、流れていくようにできている。水が高いところから低いところへ流れるのと、何ら変わりはない。それが自然の摂理といえば、そうかもしれん。重力に惹かれるままに、ただ、だらしなく横たわっていたい。それが人間の本能的な弱さだ。だがな、ここからが肝心だぞ。我々人間は、その自然の摂理、その重力に、ただ流されるだけの存在として生まれてきたのではない。我々には、その流れに逆らい、己の意志の力で、より高く、より気高い場所へと、自らを登らせていく、神聖な力が与えられている。それこそが積極心という、神様から授かった、何者にも代え難い最高の宝なんだ。しかし、世の中を見渡してみろ。この絶対の宝を、誇りまみれにして、倉庫の奥にしまい込んだまま、一生を終えようとしている人間が、なんと多いことか。なぜ、使わんのだ。なぜ、その力に気づこうともせんのだ。答えは、ただ一つだ。目先の快楽が、あまりにも甘美で、あまりにも手軽だからだ。この快楽というやつはな、実に巧妙な詐欺師なんだ。最初は、ほんの小さな安らぎや気晴らしの顔をして、あんたに近づいてくる。少しぐらいいいじゃないか、みんなやっているじゃないかと、そう囁きかける。だが、一度それを許し、二度それを許し、その甘い汁を吸うことが習慣になったとき、あんたは、もうその奴隷になっているんだ。それはな、高利貸しから金を借りるのと同じことだぞ。今、この瞬間の楽という小銭を手に入れるために、あんたは、将来得られるはずだった本物の幸福という、莫大な資産を、利子として支払わされているんだ。その借金は、あんたの生命力そのものを担保にしている。こんなに割に合わん取引が、他にあるか。今日は、その快楽という名の、あんたの人生に救う怠惰の正体を、一つ一つ、白日のもとにさらしていくぞ。あんたの心に、べったりと張り付いている毒を、わしが今から、言葉の力で、根こそぎ引き剥がしてやる。心の準備はいいかな。まず、一番わかりやすく、そして、すべての土台となる問題からいこうか。それはな、肉体の快楽だ。どうだ、あんた、今朝ももう少しだけと、目覚まし時計を止めて、あの生暖かい布団の中で、ぬくぬくと打眠を貪ってやしなかったか。 それは、本当に休息だったか。違うだろう。それは、ただの怠惰だ。その数分、数十分の快楽と引き換えに、あんたは、一日の始まりという最も大切な時間に、己の意志の力で起きるという、最初の勝利を、自ら放棄したんだ。一日の最初の戦いに、負けたんだぞ。どうだ。あんた、腹が減ったからと、夜更けに、体に悪いと重々承知しているものを、腹いっぱい詰め込んではいないか。これくらいと、酒やタバコの快楽に、己の尊い体を差し出してはいないか。動くのが億劫だと、本来、己の足で歩くべき距離を、すぐに乗り物や、便利な機械に頼り切ってはいないか。これらすべてが、目先の快楽だ。その瞬間は、心地よいかもしれん。その瞬間は、満たされるかもしれん。だがな、いいか、わしの言葉を、魂で聞け。あんたが、そうやって肉体を甘やかす。その一度一度が、あんたの命の土台を、確実に腐らせていっているんだぞ。家を建てる時のことを想像してみたまえ。立派な柱や、美しい壁を揃える前に、まず何をしなければならんか。基礎だ。地面の下に隠れて、誰の目にも見えん、頑丈なコンクリートの土台だ。あんたの肉体は、まさに、その土台なんだ。その土台を、自らの手で、毎日毎日、砂や泥でごまかし、手抜き工事をしていたら、どうなる。その上に、どんな立派な精神や理想の家を建てようとしても、無駄だ。ちょっとした人生の嵐が吹けば、ちょっとした困難という名の地震が来れば、あんたの人生は、あっという間に、ガラガラと音を立てて崩れ去る。当たり前のことじゃないか。あんたの体はな、あんたの魂が宿る、この世でたった一つの、かけがえのない神殿なんだぞ。その神殿を、あんたは、神様から預かっているんだ。その神聖な場所を、自らの怠惰な心で汚し、自らの弱い意志で破壊して、それで、何が楽しいだ、何が楽だ。それは楽じゃない。それは怠慢であり、自己破壊に他ならん。あんたが、あんた自身の命に対して行っている、最も許されざる冒涜なんだ。わしはな、それこそ、死の淵から這い上がってきた体験を通して、そして、長年にわたって、数えきれないほどの人間の体と心の関係を見てきた。だから、断言できる。体がだらしない人間は、必ず、心もだらしなくなる。これは、絶対の法則だ。心神相関の理というやつだ。肉体の小さな快楽にさえ打ち勝つことのできん人間が、どうして、人生の大きな困難に立ち向かえると思うんだ。どうして、己の運命を、力強く切り開いていけると思うんだ。すぐに根を上げ、すぐに逃げ出し、すぐに誰かのせいにする。そんな、ひ弱な、ふにゃふにゃしたことで、どうやって、この荒波の世の中を、堂々と渡っていくというんだ。今すぐ。だ、後回しにするな。明日から、じゃない。今日、この瞬間から、そのだらしない根性を、あんた自身の意志で叩き直せ。何も、いきなり無茶なことをしろと言っているんじゃない。まず、その猫のように丸まった背筋を、シャキッと伸ばしてみんか。その浅い、胸先だけの呼吸をやめて、腹の底まで、宇宙の新鮮な空気を、深く、深く、吸い込んでみんか。ただ、それだけでいい。それだけで、あんたの体に何十年間も眠っていた、本来の生命力が、むくむくと目を覚まし始めるんだ。体を鍛える、体を整えるというのはな、ただ筋肉を増やすとか、痩せるとか、そういう表面的なことが目的じゃない。それは、己の心を、己の意志で、完全にコントロール下に置くための、最高の訓練なんだ。眠い、だるい、面倒だという、肉体から湧き起こる消極的なささやきに対して、いいな、わしは、わしの意志で、今、これを行うと、断固として、命令を下す訓練だ。肉体の小さな快楽に打ち勝つ、その小さな勝利を積み重ねるたびに、あんたの魂は、あんたの意志の力は、より強く、よりたくましく、研ぎ澄まされていくんだぞ。土台が固まって、初めて、その上に立派な人生が立つのだ。 この理屈が、わからんか。さあ、次だ。この肉体の問題よりも、さらに厄介で、もっと根深く、あんたの人生を蝕んでいる毒がある。それはな、精神の快楽だ。どういうことか。それはな、愚痴、不平、不満、悪口、泣き言、ため息、これだ。どうだ。あんた、やってないか。仕事がうまくいかないことを、世の中のせいにし、上司のせいにし、同僚のせいにして、ぶつぶつと文句をしだれてやしないか。自分の健康が優れないことを、年のせいにし、天気のせいにし、誰かのせいにしているんじゃないか。あるいは、仲間内で集まっては、ここにいない誰かの悪口や噂話を魚にして、一時的な共感という名の、実に過当な快楽に浸ってはいないか。いいか。わしの全生命をかけて、ここで、声を大にして言わねばならん。あんたが、その口から、無意識に、あるいは意識的に吐き出している、その消極的な言葉こそが、あんたの人生を、その言葉通りの消極的な現実にしている。たった一人の張本人なんだぞ。これは、脅しでも、精神論でもない。わしが見抜いた、宇宙の絶対的な法則なんだ。あんたの心はな、肥沃な畑と全く同じだ。その畑に、あんたは毎日、どんな言葉の種をまいている。ああ、疲れた。どうせダメだ。もう年だから、ついてない。あいつが憎い。なんで自分ばかり。そんな、腐った、毒のある、マイナスの種ばかりを、朝から晩までまき続けていて、どうして、その畑から、幸福という名の美しい花が咲くと思うんだ。どうして、豊かさという名の、立派な、黄金の実がなると思うんだ。そんな道理が、この世にあると思うか。ない。断じて。ない。そんな畑に生えてくるのは、決まっている。不幸と、病と、貧乏と、人間関係の不和という名の、おぞましい雑草だけだ。そして、あんたは、その雑草を見て、またついてないと、新しい毒の種をまく。この、救いようのない悪循環を、あんたは、自らの手で、延々と続けているんだ。確かに、愚痴を言うと、一瞬、スッとするかもしれん。不満をぶちまけると、一瞬、気が晴れるかもしれん。自分と同じように不満を持っている人間とそうだと言い合うと、一時的に、連帯感のようなものを感じるかもしれん。だがな、それは、麻薬と一緒なんだ。一時的に気分が高揚するだけで、あんたの魂は、その毒によって、確実に、そして、深く、深く、蝕まれていくんだ。その一瞬の快楽の代償は、あんたの運命そのものなんだぞ。世の中にはな、この愚痴という名の、精神的な快楽の中毒者が、あまりにも多すぎる。彼らは、自分が不幸であることを、どこかで楽しんですらいるんだ。自分はこんなに大変なんだと、不幸の自慢話をすることで、あなたも大変ね。わかるわと、人から同情されることを期待している。その、同情という名の生ぬるいお湯に浸かることで、束の間の安らぎを得ている。冗談じゃない。そんなものは、本物の安らぎでも、救いでも何でもない。ただの魂の堕落であり、責任からの逃避だ。いいか、皆様方。言葉は、命なんだ。あんたが発する一言一言が、あんたの細胞に影響を与え、あんたの潜在意識に刻み込まれ、そして、あんたの未来を、一分の隙もなく作り上げている。この厳粛な事実を、ただの綺麗事だと思うな。これこそが、科学であり、真理なんだ。だから、今、この瞬間に、一切の消極的な言葉を、己の人生から追放したまえ。たとえ、今、あんたが、どんなに苦しい状況に、どんなに絶望的な環境に置かれていようとも。関係ない。それでも、断固として、積極的な言葉を使うんだ。ありがたい。感謝します。私はついている。必ず良くなる。わしはできる。わしの未来は光り輝いている。心が追いつかんかもしれん。こんな状況で、感謝なんかできるかと、心が抵抗するかもしれん。構うものか。形から入るんだ。 まず、言葉を積極的なものに完全に変えるんだ。口から力強い積極的な言葉を意志の力で出すんだ。そうすれば、あんたの心は必ずその言葉の後からついてくる。そして、あんたの運命は必ずその言葉が示す通りの積極的なものに変わらざるを得なくなる。これが運命を転換させるということの極意なんだ。わしが、この中村天風が絶対の自信を持ってそれを保証する。さらに、もう一段、深い毒の話をしよう。肉体、精神、ときて、次は、感情の快楽だ。人間には喜怒哀楽がある。それは、自然なことだ。当たり前だ。だがな、問題は、その感情の奴隷になっている人間があまりにも多いということだ。かっと頭に血が上り、我を忘れて怒鳴り散らす。これもな、実は非常に恐ろしい刹那的な快楽なんだ。怒りを爆発させることで一時的に自分が強い存在になったかのような万能感にも似た錯覚に陥る。相手を恐怖させ屈服させたような実に歪んだ征服感を味わう。だがな、その嵐が過ぎ去った後、一体何が残る？破壊された人間関係、失われた信頼、そして後には焼け野原のような虚しさと激しい自己嫌悪だけが残る。それは自分の大切な家に自分で火を放って燃え盛る炎を見て一時的に喜んでいる愚か者と全く同じ所業だぞ。あるいはその逆だ。何かあるとすぐにメソメソと落ち込む。自分はなんてかわいそうなんだ。どうせ自分なんかと悲劇の主人公の役柄にどっぷりと浸る。これもな、実に甘美な快楽なんだぞ。自分は傷ついているんだという、その弱い立場に安住し、困難に立ち向かうべき責任から巧妙に逃げているだけだ。人から大丈夫か、無理するなよと心配されることを心のどこかで待っている。そんな他人に依存した気弱な寄生虫のような心でどうするんだ。いいか、感情というものはな、天候のようなものだ。晴れの日もあれば雨の日も嵐の日もある。だがあんたは天候そのものじゃない。あんたはその天候の下で目的地に向かって船を漕いでいく船長なんだ。あるいは感情は暴れ場と一緒だ。あんたはその馬に引きずり回される奴隷じゃない。あんたはその馬の手綱をしっかりと握りしめ、あんたが行きたい方向へとあんたが馬を導いていく誇り高き乗り手なんだ。それこそが心を投御するということなんだぞ。感情が胸の奥からカッと湧き上がってくること、それ自体は止めることはできんかもしれん。それは生理的な反応でもあるからな。だがな、ここが一番肝心だ。その湧き上がってきた感情にどう反応するか、どう対処するか、それはあんたがあんた自身の意志で 100% 完全に決めることができるんだ。これが人間に与えられた最高の自由だ。腹が立ったらその怒りに飲み込まれる前に、まず腹の底から深く息を吸え。悲しくなったらうなだれる前に、まず背筋をシャキッと伸ばせ。感情の波にただもろともに流されるな。その波の上にあんたがサーフィンの名手のようにすっと乗るんだ。そして心の中でこう宣言するんだ。わしはこんなちんけな怒りごときにわしの尊い人生の舵を一瞬たりとも渡してなるものか。わしはこんな一時的な悲しみごときにわしの積極的な心を曇らせてたまるものか。そう断固として自分自身に命令を下すんだ。それこそが人生の主人公として生きるということの具体的な実践なんだぞ。そして最後におそらくこれが現代の人間にとって最も巧妙で最も強力で、そして最も多くの人々が知らず知らずのうちにとらわれている快楽について話さねばならん。それはな、他人からの承認という快楽だ。人によく思われたい、褒められたい、認められたい、いいねと言われたい、仲間外れにされたくない。 嫌われたくない。これも、無理からぬ人情かもしれん。集団で生きる動物としての本能かもしれん。だがな、皆様方、この他人からの承認という快楽に、あんたの魂を売り渡した瞬間、あんたの人生は、あんたのものではなくなる。その瞬間から、あんたは、他人という、実に気まぐれな主人の顔色を伺って生きる。奴隷になり下がるんだ。他人の評価という、実に曖昧で、移ろいやすく、無責任な物差しで、あんた自身の、かけがえのない価値を測るな。他人の顔色という、朝と夕でコロコロと変わる天気に、あんたの心の平和を、いちいち左右されるな。そんなものは、根なし草の生き方だ。風が吹けば、そちらになびき、雨が降れば、ただ濡れるだけ。そこには、あんた自身の意志が、あんた自身の人生が、かけらも存在しないじゃないか。世の中にはな、他人からどう見られるか、ということばかりを気にして、朝から晩まで、神経をすり減らし、ヘトヘトに疲れ切っている人間が、なんと多いことか。本当は脳と、心の底では思っているのに、嫌われるのが怖くて、顔で笑ってイエスと言ってしまう。本当は、自分のやりたいことが別にあるのに、みんながそうするからという理由だけで、やりたくもないことに、貴重な命の時間を費やす。そうやって、他人に振り回され、自分自身に嘘をつき続け、自分自身をすり減らした結果、一体、何が残るというんだ。深い、虚しさだけだ。自分の人生は、一体、何だったんだという、死ぬ間際の後悔だけだ。いいか、もう一度言うぞ。あんたの価値は、他人が決めるもんじゃない。あんたの上司も、あんたの隣人も、あんたの家族でさえも、あんたの価値を決める権利など、持っていない。あんたの価値は、あんたが、あんた自身で決めるんだ。いや、違うな。あんたは、もうすでに、この世に、たった一人の存在として、生まれたという。ただ、その一点において、この宇宙全体と同じくらいの、絶対的な価値を、最初から持っているんだ。他人の承認など、あろうがなかろうが、あんたのその尊厳と価値は、1ミクロンも、変わりはせん。この、絶対の真理に、あんたが、腹の底から、魂の底から気づいたとき、あんたは、初めて、本当の自由を手に入れることができる。他人の目を気にする、あのちっぽけな、ビクビクした快楽が、いかにくだらないものであったか、心の底からわかるはずだ。あんたが従うべきは、他人の、その場限りの評価じゃない。あんた自身の、その胸の奥にある、内なる良心の声だ。あんたの魂がこれこそが正しい、これこそが、わしの道だ、と叫ぶ、その神聖な声にだけ、従えばいいんだ。たとえ、その結果、世界中の人間が、あんたを指さしてバカだと笑おうとも。構うものか。それこそが、何者にも揺るがない信念というものであり、それこそが、人間として最も気高い生き方なんだ。さあ、皆様方、わしは今日、あんた方の人生を、静かに、しかし確実に蝕んでいる、目先の快楽という名の、様々な毒の正体を、洗いざらい、ぶちまけた。肉体の体だ、精神の体だ、感情の体だ、そして、他人への依存という、魂の体だ。これらすべてはな、突き詰めれば、たった一つのことに行き着くんだ。それは、消極心だ。己の生命力を、自ら閉ざし、縮こませようとする。弱く、卑しく、臆病な心だ。もう、そんな生き方は、今日、この瞬間限りで、終わりにしたまえ。あんたの命は、そんな安っぽい、一時しのぎの快楽でごまかしていいほど、軽いもんじゃない。あんたの魂は、そんなちっぽけな満足で終わっていいほど、小さなもんじゃないんだ。では、聞こう。本物の喜びとは、一体、何だ。本物の快楽とは、一体、どこにあるんだ。それはな、目先の楽を、己の意志で乗り越えた、その先にしかないんだ。困難に、真正面からぶつかっていく、その勇気の中にこそある。できないと思われたことを、 歯を食いしばり、知恵を絞り、血の滲むような努力の末に、ついに成し遂げる、その達成感の中にこそある、昨日までの弱かった自分、怠惰だった自分を、今日、確実に一歩でも超えていく、その成長の喜びの中にこそある。これこそが、積極心が生み出す、本物の、そして、誰にも奪うことのできない、永遠の快楽であり、幸福なんだ。苦労を恐れるな。困難を、むしろ、歓迎したまえ。面倒なこと、厄介なことの中にこそ、あんたの魂を磨き、あんたの意志を鍛える、最高の砥石が隠されているんだ。目の前に、楽な道と、険しい道があったなら、迷わず、険しい道を選べ。なぜなら、その先にこそ、あんたがまだ一度も見たことのない、素晴らしい、光り輝く景色が広がっているにそういないからだ。わしは、あんたを信じているぞ。あんたが、今、どこの誰であろうと、どんな過去を持っていようと、そんなことは、一切、関係ない。わしは、あんたの中には、無限の力が眠っていることを知っている。この大宇宙を作り、今この瞬間も動かしている。あの根源のエネルギーと、寸分違わぬ、強大で、神聖な力が、あんたの命の奥底で、今か今かと、あんたが呼び覚ますのを、待っているんだ。だて、今すぐ、その場に、シャキッと立つんだ。もし座っているなら、その椅子から立ち上がれ。そして、天に向かって、腹の底から、こう宣言したまえ。わしは、今日、この瞬間、生まれ変わる。わしは、もう二度と、目先の快楽に、わしの尊い魂を売り渡すことはせん。わしは、わしの人生の、唯一無二の主人公として、積極果敢に、この命を、完全に燃やし尽くすことを、ここに誓う。どうだ、心の奥底から、何かが、熱いものが、湧き上がってこんか。勇気が、腹の底から、マグマのように突き上げてこんか。それがあんたの、本物の姿なんだ。その感覚を、絶対に、忘れるんじゃないぞ。さあ、行け。あんたの、新しい人生は、今日、この瞬間から、もうすでに始まっているんだ。わしの、この魂の叫びが、あんたの魂に、確かに火をつけたことを、わしは知っている。その神聖な火を、二度と、消すんじゃないぞ。このわしの言葉が、あんたの心の奥底にまで、本当に届いたというのなら、本気で、自分の人生を、自分の力で、素晴らしいものに変えていきたいと、今、心の底から決意したというのなら、わしは、そして、わしと同じように、人生の厳しい試練を通して、普遍の真理をつかみ取った偉人たちは、いつでも、ここで、あんたのような本気の人間を、両手を広げて待っているぞ。あんたの人生が、今日から、光り輝く、素晴らしいものになることを、わしは、心の底から信じて、疑わん。
We don't need to tell you about law of attraction. Law of attraction is like the law of gravity. You can't turn it off, and it is always responding to everything you've got going on vibrationally. It is responding to what you've got going on. It equals your point of attraction. In other words, law of attraction is responding to what you've got going on. So for a while, we've been explaining to you that as contrast causes you to know what you want more clearly, and always in the beginning of that knowing what you want, because the contrast has given birth to it, you're not vibrationally up to speed with it. There is this vibrational gap that's going on because law of attraction is now responding to your inner being who is in the vortex, who is lining up all of the cooperative components big time in order to assist you in the full manifestation and realization of everything that you want. And here you are, having whatever thoughts and beliefs and expectations that you had usually before you launched the desire. So there is this sort of duality going on where law of attraction is responding to both parts of you. The in the vortex part of you and the potentially not in the vortex part of you. So You've got this sort of split going on often that feels like frustration or overwhelmment that now it is your job to do something about. And that's why we talk to you all day, every day about the art of allowing, about assessing the vibrational difference between who you have actually become. Are you getting what we mean? Do you believe that when you launch a rocket that your inner being actually embraces it and becomes it? Do you know that when you're sick, vibrationally you're weller? That when you don't have enough of something, that vibrationally you have more of it? That when you're confused, vibrationally you're clearer? In other words, this is the way this dynamic universe and the evolution of all species occurs. So there is this vibrational part of you who is calling you home, calling you home, calling you home. And we want to say to you, you're going. The question is, are you going willingly? Because if you relax into it, if you just let go, if you just acknowledge you've done the work, the isness of the vibrational reality is in place. The cooperative components have already been assembled. They will show you amazing things. You will defy the logic of all kinds of people as this vortex does its work. The question is, where are you in vibrational relationship to it? So we've been talking about this for a while, and many of you have been hearing us for a while. Esther certainly has been hearing it for a long while. And she said to Jerry the other day, you know, it's interesting how in all of this that I've been hearing, I realize that I've still been counting on my action for far more than I meant to. Because in many cases, I don't really have to line up with my vortex because I've got people who can just bang it into place. I'll just call someone and say, this is out of whack. Can you take care of it? And they do. They're really good at wrestling things to the ground. But in the process of that, Esther realizes that she doesn't move her vibration. She just calls someone and they wrestle something else to the ground. And then she realizes that sometimes she can create more brush fires than she has brush fire putter-outers. And then a sort of clarity is beginning to occur to many of you. We've been talking about this vortex. You get it, don't you? Conceptually, it's an idea that you can wrap your thoughts around. And we've been letting you know that there is potentially a vibrational gap between who you really are, which is the done deal, the vibrational doneness, it's done, it's done, it's done, and what you have so far allowed to manifest because of what's going on vibrationally. And Esther said to Jerry the other day, you know, I realize that I've loved the idea of the vortex and I have wanted to be in it as much as I can. So I have been approaching my reality by trying to think the thoughts that make me align with my vortex. Makes sense. Look for things to appreciate. Look for things to bask about. If I find myself feeling negative about something, pivot from it. Say to myself, I know what I don't want. What is it that I do want? Which is a logical approach to lining up with your vortex. But Esther said, this last week or so, it has flipped for me because now I get it that if I let the vortex and what it means and how it feels be all that I'm thinking about, then in establishing my relationship with the vortex, and every day I'm in it, many times, if I milk my vortex when I'm in it, if I keep it going when I'm there, if I find myself on a happy thought and I rampage it longer, if I let my vortex be my undivided intention, if I let my vortex be what I'm reaching for, I now get it, she said, that my vortex affects my manifestation. It's a different way of approaching it. In other words, what we want you to gather as a result of the conversation that we're having here today, and as a result of what's going to go on in your lives in the next hours and days and weeks, as a result of what you pick up from this leading edge conversation, what you're going to come to know is that you have complete control over every manifestation that happens in your life if you approach it from inside the vortex, for example. So something happens. Maybe someone walks into your experience and they don't jive with you in the way you would like them to. They're annoying in some way, or they're unknowledgeable in some way, or they're belligerent in some way. They're abusing someone in some way. It doesn't matter. You witnessed it and you're having a knee-jerk response to it. And as you're having this negative emotion, the reason you're having the negative emotion is because you're responding to it in the way that you are. And if you feel negative emotion, it means that your inner being is responding to it in an entirely different way. In other words, what you're feeling isn't about what you've witnessed. It's about your relationship with the larger part of you who's having a different experience. Can you hear that? Because who you really are is loving this obnoxious person, even though you are not. And so the rift that you've got going on is the separation is too strong of word between who you really are and who you're being. So that's a manifestation that happened. This is the thing that we want you to realize. That person walked into your life and you experienced that manifestation. When we talk about manifestations, we know you think we're talking about cars and empires and legacies and books and relationships and all those pinnacle sort of things that you have been thinking of in terms of goals that you're reaching for. But we want you to understand that what manifestations are, what we really mean by manifestation is what's happening now. This is a manifestation. This room, these lights, these screens, this sound, this people, this global audience. This is a manifestation that's happening right here and now. Your relationship with your chair, your relationship with the people you're sitting next to. This is a manifestation. It's happening now. Manifestation. Everything that is happening around you is a manifestation that is evidence of one thing and one thing only: your relationship with your vortex. Your relationship with your vortex. So the fact that this annoying person is there, or this belligerent person is there, is your manifestation, which is simply reflecting back to you your relationship with your vortex. That's all. And that's what's so interesting. Esther nearly fell off the bed, and then the chair, and then the car, and then the bed, and then the chair, and then the car. As these processes have been going through her mind, the thought processes, as she realizes that everything that's happening is a reflection of only one thing: her relationship with the vortex. So, for example, Esther said to Jerry, if I were to do something for you kitchen-wise, in my beautiful new kitchen, what would you like it to be? And Jerry said, I would like oatmeal and raisin cookies. And Esther said, consider it done. So she went to the kitchen, snatched everything out of the cupboard except baking soda, which was not there, because she has never baked in this kitchen before. And so she said to Jerry, I'm on the hunt for baking soda. And Jerry said, you know, I think I saw some in the refrigerator at the guest house, because Sylvia has freshened everything, and I think it's in there, like a freshener thing. So Esther said, I'm on it. So she jumped in the car. Now, their garage is carpeted, which is a little tricky, because on 3 occasions, Jerry has ended up at a restaurant with no shoes on. Because it just feels logical to get in the car from the car. So now Esther jumps in the car, goes through a gate or two, goes to the guest house, steps out into the gravel in her stocking feet, and says, right out loud, can someone please explain to me why I'm here in my stocking feet? And then she tiptoes down the pathway into the cottage and thinks to herself, surely there are a pair of shoes or carpet slippers in the closet. So she walks into the closet and finds herself in very wet carpet. She calls Fidel, and he tells her, as he examines it, that the air conditioner, no one's been in the cottage for a long time, the air conditioner's been running, it's plugged up, and it is draining into the closet. And Esther is saying, now no one needs to tell me why I'm here in my stocking feet. In other words, a manifestation, a path of least resistance. Jerry wants cookies. He wants the kind of cookies that don't have the baking soda. The baking soda isn't in the house, but the baking soda is at the cottage. Esther goes in her stocking feet. Now, you might say coincidence. You might say, oh, that's one way to twist a really stupid story into something meaningful. But what it is the path of least resistance manifestation, because things are always working out for you. You see, things are always working out for you. Esther could not get back over to the house to tell Jerry fast enough. She wasn't even upset that the house smelled funky or that the carpet was wet or that she didn't know what the problem was. She was exhilarated that the universe had delivered to her an answer to a problem she did not even know she had, because things are always working out for her. You get what we're talking about. Manifestations. So, if you are feeling worried about something, what you're going to receive back as feedback from specialists, from anybody that knows, is information that doesn't have anything to do with your reality, doesn't have anything to do with your expected manifestational reality, doesn't have anything to do with anything except it's feedback to how you're feeling. You say, oh, this test or this x-ray or this conversation or this whatever is coming to me is a statement of fact. And we say, we'll give you that, but it's a statement of only one fact: your vibrational proximity to your vortex, period, end of story. So what we want you to begin to watch for, and it will be fun for you to watch, is that if you will hear us when we say that you have the ability to develop a personal and deliberate relationship with your vortex, with your inner being, with the larger part of you, with good feeling emotions. And if you will practice the vibration of it as often as you can and milk it when you find yourself there, so that you become so familiar with the feeling of who you really are, that you will see right before your eyes manifestations reflecting where you are. Personalities of people that you know will shift. Events that have been moving in one direction will shift. You have control. You are the creator of your own experience, because you are the creator of your relationship with your vortex. And when you get that, people will say to you, what's going on with you? Why is it that you defy the odds and you defy the logic and you turn heads wherever you go and things always work out for you no matter what? And you say, or maybe you don't, because some of them are ready to hear it and some of them are not ready to hear it. I am the creator of the manifestation that comes to me, and I can control what happens to me in traffic. I can control where I am when the weather is doing whatever it's doing. I can control the relationship that I have with airline flights. I can control the relationship that I have with my physical apparatus. I can control my relationship with my children and with strangers and with family. Family! I can control my relationship with family, because I don't have to control what they think or what they know or what they do. I have one very simple task. I know that who I really am exists as a loving, expansive, expanding, eternal being, and that part of me is the largest reality that exists. And I have access to the awareness of my relationship with that. And now I've got that down. Everything in my experience is not just working out for me eventually, it's working out for me now.
Good morning. Lots of appreciation for you and lots of appreciation to be here. I have two questions for you. I was going to start out saying, Abraham, I've fallen out of an airplane going really fast. But after listening to your introduction, I decided to start with something a little bit different. So two questions. The first one is less of a question and more of something I want to chew on with you. It's regarding my relationship with contrast. There are some issues in my life which I first need to say, my life is really good. I'm actually not falling out of an airplane. I'm actually the pilot of an airplane that's flowing, has some little turbulence here and there, but is going pretty smoothly. I am curious about my relationship with contrast. There are some things that occur that make me uncomfortable that I can pivot away from quickly, immediately, and not even acknowledge them, a little uncomfort, a little bit of being unsteady, and then just move on to something else, move on to a better feeling thought.
If that's the case, then, by lack of attention to them, they will dissipate into non-existence. You won't have vibrational access to them if you're really doing that consistently.
Okay. Well, not quite consistently,
right,
but it's a work in progress.
We know.
Yeah. And so the other part of that, there is some contrast where I sort of get sucked into, I've allowed myself to get sucked into, that I want to beat the drum, and that
Think about what you're saying here, and we are appreciating your clear presentation in this. You're just talking about the subject of momentum.
Right.
Some of them I get off faster, so the momentum doesn't get going. Some of them I don't catch the momentum because it's interesting or because I'm honoring somebody else that's talking about it. You said I get sucked into it. And isn't that the way that you get sucked in? In other words, caring about what somebody else wants to talk about. There are those people who say, don't walk away from me. Don't ignore this.
Right.
And so it's easy to get sucked in, as you say, but the real sucking is only momentum. The real sucking in is only momentum. And so it's just a matter of being consciously aware of it as you are. You see, it's not so much, in fact, it's really not about deciding what you're not going to think about. It's really about deciding what you are going to think about. Because when you think about what you are going to think about, you use up all your airtime on that higher flying disc, you see. So that's why we've been offering many processes through the years. But the processes that stand out as the most vivid and effective, given what you now know about this high flying disc that you want to achieve vibrational alignment with, are pivoting, as you said, if you can catch it early on. If it's within the first 17 seconds, I know what I don't want. What is it that I do want? You can pivot just that fast by turning your attention, because there's no momentum and you can as easily go that way as that way. But once a little bit of momentum goes, then techniques like becoming as general as you can be. Because if you get into the specifics of something, the more specific you are, the more time you're putting into it. And the more time you're putting into it, the longer you're maintaining that frequency. And the longer you're maintaining that frequency, then the faster the momentum is. And the more momentum is there, then the less control you have about changing it. Now, you don't want to change the momentum. You want the momentum to be really fast on things that you care about. You just don't want it to be fast on the things that you don't care about. So you need to discern, is this something that is worthy of my attention? Is this something that I want to practice vibrational harmonics with? Is this something that I want to be resonance with? In simple terms, is that a disc I want to get on and play with the people of my world today on that disc? Are these the people that I want to meet up with? And sometimes it feels to you like they are the people that you want to meet up with because they are the most familiar. They know you. They feel your pain. They understand what you've been going through. They speak your language.
Right.
But after you do this for a little while, you get so you just let go of it as fast as you can. Jerry used to say it's like sitting in front of the fireplace, chinkapin log in the fire. You've got your beautiful new cashmere sweater, and a spark, which is common with those kind of logs, comes out and gets onto your sweater. And if you just go, nothing, brush it off, and but if you don't, pretty soon there's a big hole in your sweater.
Right.
And it's sort of like that. You can flick it away. You can pivot early. But once it gets momentum, then you got to call the fire department. And the fire department makes a mess of everything. In many cases, they cause more problems than they solve.
Right. That's very true.
So, flicking it off early, and then, if there's strong momentum going, just fall out of the airplane. It's all right.
Right.
Just fall out of the airplane and enjoy the journey. Practice different sounds. And as you have the experience, then don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat up on yourself about it. And then the next day, just give a little more airtime to what you do want, until before you know it, those experiences become few and far between. You find yourself feeling so high and happy and confident and invincible that you wonder why you ever worried about anything.
So very true. And from what I've been learning from you, listening for a couple of years now, is it's really about practice. For me, it's about practice. It's about being very consistent with the practice.
And why? Because practice and momentum are intertwined. Mm-hmm. So you could say, I am creating momentum all day, every day.
Right.
I'm establishing momentum. I'm allowing momentum. Law of attraction is the engine. All I did was pick a subject. I'm the picker of the subjects to which momentum will be applied. How well am I choosing? What are my reasons for choosing it? Do I want attention? Sometimes. Sometimes you just want some attention. But always, you said, I'll come forth and I'll sift through the contrast, and out of the contrast will come clarity of what I want. What you really want is joyful evolution. That's what you've got all day, every day, the potential for. And the thing that bums you out more than all other things put together, because it's about all the things put together, is that life causes you to evolve and then you don't go. Out. Oh, that's painful. I became something that I didn't let myself be. In fact, it's so painful that I'm going to comment on my pain. I'm going to see if there are any others who've had this painful experience.
Yes. Yeah.
And we say, there are other options. You create your own reality because you offer your vibration. Enough for you?
Yeah, that actually leads me to the second question about practice and really laying new pipes.
We want to tease you just a little bit.
Okay.
It's really a hard thing we're asking, that you practice those good feeling thoughts. We know it's a price to pay. To find something pleasant to think about.
Yes.
All right.
That's really appropriate for my next question. It's very appropriate. I have laid some pipes with my career. I have strong desire for something new. And I think the reason is what I currently do now. I'm an editor and a journalist. And from a little boy, I've wanted to do that type of work. And I've done it. And I've done great work. And I've won awards. And I've worked with wonderful people and wonderful other journalists, and now I've changed. My spirituality has changed. The things that are important to me have changed.
Your audience has changed.
The audience has changed. The industry has changed. Yeah. And because of that change, it's become very uncomfortable for me. I'm in a situation, in a workplace that's actually very good, that pays well. It's good, consistent work. It's a beautiful building I work in. I work with very talented people, but I so don't want to be there. I just do not want to be there. I want to, and the interesting thing about it is
So before you go any further, just ask yourself the potentially positive leading question.
Right.
Why don't I want to be there? Which will lead you to where do I want to be?
Well, see, that's just it. That's my question. I've been journaling about it. I know what I feel. I know how I want to feel. And I know the impact I want to have.
You know where you want to be in terms of how you want it to feel. Yeah. You just don't know how it's going to come, where it's going to come from, where it's going to be, when it's going to be, who it's going to be. And so when you ask the questions that you don't have answers to, it just clogs pipes up even more. But when you ask the question, what do I want and why do I want it? That's a pipe opening kind of question. What do I want and why do I want it? How do I want to feel? What would it feel like if?
Right.
So what is it that you want to feel? This will be easy for you.
Very easy.
To speak to us.
Yes.
What is it that you want?
I want to feel good. I want to feel that my work is valued. I want to feel that what I do, I'm very
let's go down just a little bit because this is all really, really good. I want to feel good, and I want to feel that our work is valued. Now, we want to say to you, you can't feel good unless you feel your work is valued. And so those two things go together very nicely.
Yes.
And what other things are required in order for you to feel good?
Other things.
Nice and slow.
I want other people to benefit from what I do.
Yes. I am an uplifter.
Yes.
And I want to carve out pathways.
Yes.
So do you think that we're asking, these are not leading questions. We really want you to consider this because it's going to be really good in your process that unfolds in the next few days. So you have this awareness of this high-flying disc. It's who you are, and it's where you are often.
Yes.
But you don't believe that your audience is up there. You think your audience is down here, or here, or here, but they're not up there. You don't think they are. But you don't feel like you're serving them unless you're up there. But it feels to you like you have to come down there for them to even hear you. We want you to know 100% of your audience has the ability to meet you up there. And they'll never meet you up there if you keep coming down here to meet them. So you got to lay some new pipes. And those pipes go something like, well, I'll find a way of expressing, because they all have some resonance with what I know to be. In other words, you can, in fact, you cannot write from your place of alignment anything that will take you down. So all you got to do, it's so fun to tell you this. The only thing that you have to do is pay attention to what disc you're on when you're writing your stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to consider who will read it. That takes you off your disc. You don't have to consider if they will understand it. That clogs up your pipes. You have only one thing that you have to figure out. And it's on a daily basis, and that is, from what disc am I writing this? So there's someone that you want to be of value to. Let's say it's a friend rather than a world full of people that you're wanting to uplift. Let's just bring it down to, there's this person that you believe in, and you really want to be of value to them. And as you've listened to this person, you can tell that they could benefit by what you know. So you want to help them. And as you focus upon them, you really want to help them, but you realize that their needs caused you to join them on their disc. And now any help that you offer them is not coming from your full empowerment. It's not coming from who you are. And therefore it doesn't feel good to you. So then, even though your friend might not understand it, you have to be aloof enough that you're not part of that vibration for a little while and get up there in your high-flying place. And from there, you didn't stop thinking about your friend. You just stopped thinking about your friend from down here. You're thinking about your friend now from your place of alignment. And now the inspiration that will come to you will be of benefit to your friend. See how it works?
Yes, I do.
And now just superimpose all of those people that you're wanting to uplift. And realize that when you get up there and you feel it, that invincibility, when you are on that disc, you have the energy that creates worlds coursing through you. You have a leverage that we can't even begin to explain. All unseen power and forces working with you. It's what people call miracles. It isn't miraculous. It's normal.
Yes.